Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming out to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. I'm your host, Queen Tulsa. If you don't know why you are here, go ahead and check out that description, and we will be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming back to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. If you are a new subscriber, please thank you for subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for returning. Thank you for your loyalty. And if this is your first time here, definitely give me an opportunity to give you some great content tonight. And let's just have a good time. Well, tonight we have some heavy topics on the list, and we'll start off with man charged with hate crime after cutting family's internet cable because he assumed they were undocumented immigrants. On September 22nd, an employee for an internet service provider arrived at an apartment complex in Eau Claire, Wisconsin to install internet for a family of Latin descent. Shannon Pearson, a downstairs neighbor of the family, then confronted the employee. He told him that he was helping undocumented immigrants, then began yelling racist things at the family and then cut their internet cable. I just don't feel that they deserve cable. He said, I'm sorry, I don't. They're illegal aliens. After officers arrived at the building, Pearson initially blamed the incident on the installer and claimed that he had been the one to cut the internet cable when he discovered the family was undocumented. According to the Hill, Pearson also said he went to check on the commotion and was pushed down the stairs. He later admitted that he had been drinking and that he was the one who had cut the cable. When the family was interviewed by officials, it was explained that there was no physical altercation between them and their neighbor and that they were not in the United States illegally. Their side of the story was later corroborated by the internet service installer. Pearson was then arrested and charged with criminal damage, which became a felony after being classified as a hate crime and obstructing an officer. He was released from jail on a $1,000 bond and faces 2 years in prison and a fine of up to $10,000. The 48-year-old is due back in court next month on November 28th. Wow, so terrible. And it's like, what business was that of yours? It's like, what business was that of yours? You're sticking your nose in someone else's business. See, that's why I say to myself, I just try not to, you know, I just stay to myself. Even like when I stayed in some apartments, I really didn't. I would be polite to my neighbors, but as far as like going over and sitting up in their house and having popcorn, no, it was just a respectable thing. We're just neighbors. That's it. We're just neighbors. Okay. All right. So our next story is a very traumatizing story. So I'm going to give you guys a trigger warning beforehand. So give me a moment. Okay, so I'll go ahead and read the article. This was reported by, oh, excuse me. Give me 1 second. Can we take a quick 30-second break? Hello, Sonia Mabia. How are you doing? Welcome to the show. We'll be right back, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for staying with a sister. Okay. Okay. This was reported on Sean King's Instagram. If you guys don't know Sean King, he is an activist. He does a lot of work. He helps put stories out and bring attention and awareness to injustices and things that are just way out of line. It says Instagram, I'm pausing my book campaign for 48 hours for us to help this young brother, okay? 100% of what you give goes straight to his family. You all remember Trayvon. He was assaulted last week by that mangy old white man in Milwaukee for no reason at all. Trayvon would never hurt or harm a soul. Well, my dear brother, Trey Ben is with him right now, and we told Trayvon's mother we'd raise some funds to support her. Support Trayvon and give them some real financial relief. Okay, click the link in the bio. But let's go ahead and get into this video. Okay.
Oh, I give it. I give Let go of his neck. I give you're it. Fine. You ain't gotta hold his neck. No, I give it touch it. I did touch it. Yeah, I did touch it. For real, I did touch it.
Yeah, one of this kid over here, one of his friends stole a bike right out of a friend of mine's yard. Okay, my address is.
Yeah, I did touch it.
My thoughts and my prayers are with that family. Like I can't. I can't imagine that, you know, my this just really breaks my heart. I mean, this guy, you can clearly, see that, he wouldn't hurt a fly. He wouldn't hurt a soul. He was just so gentle. He was confused. And you put your hand around his neck. Disregard for individuals with disabilities. Only thing you had to do was pull out your phone and start recording. You didn't have to put your hands on him. That's the problem with people. Stop putting your hands on people. Be kind. But stop putting your hands on people. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I can't take that no more. I can't take it. In other news, we do have another story that's also heartbreaking. Um, oh, there was a shooting, school shooting in St. Louis today, and it's very graphic. And my heart goes out to the families of those that were affected by this gruesome attack. I'll go ahead and play the content. Give me 1 second. Or actually, would you guys like to hear the content first, or would you like for me to read the article? Okay, so let's see. Let me know if you guys want me to read the article or play the audio. Okay, while I wait for answer. Teacher and teen student killed in shooting at South St. Louis High School, suspect unalived. St. Louis, a teenage girl and a health teacher were shot to death, and 7 other students were injured Monday morning at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School in South St. Louis. Police confronted the gunman inside the school and killed him. The suspect was identified Monday evening as Orlando Harris, 19 years old, of St. Louis. He graduated last year from the school at 3125 South Kings Highway. One survivor heard him say he was tired of everybody in the school. His gun jammed at one point, giving kids time to escape. Authorities have not released the names of the woman and the teenage girl who died, but relatives of the woman identified her to the Post Dispatch as 61-year-old Jean Kazuka, who taught health and physical education. Kazuka lived in the Demeter area of Jefferson County. 4 other students were shot and injured, 2 in the leg, 1 in the arm, and 1 in the hands and jaw. 2 more students suffered abrasions, and a girl fractured her ankle. Interim St. Louis Police Commissioner Mike Sack said Monday evening that he was extremely proud of the police response. The call for an active shooter came in at 9:11 a.m., and the shooter was shot 14 minutes later on the school's 3rd floor. He said a security officer saw the man trying to enter the building and police were alerted. Several parents and St. Louis Mayor Tashura O. Jones also commended the police response. This could have been much worse, Sachs said. The shooter had a dozen 30-round magazines, Sachs said, and he had a gun out from the moment he entered the school. Sack refused to say how the gunman got into the building, but said all doors were locked. The building has metal detectors and 7 security officers. Sack said the gunman had no criminal history. There are 2 magnet high schools on the campus, Central Visual and Performing Arts, with about 400 students, and Collegiate School of Medicine and Bioscience with about 300 students. David Williams, a math teacher at the school, said the school principal came over the loudspeaker around 9 a.m. and said the code phrase that indicates a school shooter in the building. Williams heard multiple shots outside his classroom, and one of the windows on the classroom door was shot out. He then heard a man say, "You all are going to explicit die." Police haven't said how many shots were fired inside the school. Elijah Foleman, a 15-year-old sophomore, said it was chaos when the code came over the loudspeaker. He said he texted his parents that he loved them, then heard 4 gunshots and took off running. "I don't even know how to deal with it," he said. "I'm scared." Raymond J. Parks, a dance teacher at the school, said he was about to teach a ballet class when he saw the shooter wearing all black with a long gun out of the corner of his eye. Parks said the man pointed the gun at him but did not fire for some reason. Tanaya Golston, 16, was in the dance class when the shooting started. Guys, let's go ahead and take a quick 30-second break. We'll be right back. All right, so right back into it. He said, like, I'm tired of this damn school. And I'm tired of everybody in this damn school, she said. Tanaya said the shooter's gun eventually jammed and that she was able to run for safety. Renaya Cole was in the dance class too, stretching when she heard a gunshot. We hid in the corner behind a mat, said Renaya, 16. Once the gunman ran off, Renaya and her classmates darted out of the school into a vacant Walgreens building. Nia Jones, a ninth grader at the school, said she was in math class when the shooter fired into the room from the hallway, but could not get into the classroom. Students piled into the corner of the room and tried not to move as the shooter banged on the door, she said. Ryan Owens, 18, a senior at CVPA, said, students thought it was a drill at first, then we heard noises. Once you heard the boom, said teacher Michael D. Filippo, all the chuckling and laughing in the back of the room stopped. Tanaya Lumpkin was in speech and debate class at the time. She said a staff member told them to close and lock the door as they do for an intruder drill, but they didn't know if it was real or not. Next thing you know, we just heard gunshots, Tanaya said. First single shots rang out, then multiple, then single again, she said. Jemiah Hampton, 16, was in vocal class on the 4th floor of the building when she heard gunshots on the 3rd floor. I heard one big one, and then there were so many, I stopped counting, she said. I'm confused why people are so cruel. Dakota Willard, 14, who attends Collegate, said he saw a girl lying at the end of a hallway that joins the two schools. What I saw was traumatizing, Willard said. I'm okay. I don't need any special help. By 9:30 a.m., the area around the school was blocked off by police, ambulances, and a SWAT van. Students and staff streamed from the school with hands in the air, filling up Hereford Street toward the Schnucks on Arisnall, where hundreds of evacuees gathered. Hundreds of people gathered in the Schnucks parking lot where students and their parents were hugging each other. One boy was consoling his mother. I'm glad it was over. My friends are alive. It's okay, Mom. It's okay. I'm here, he said. Earlier Monday, Mayor Jones and Rep. Cori Bush spoke at the first news conference of the day. It's so unfair, Jones said. I'm heartbroken for these families. Our children shouldn't have to experience this, Bush said. It's a visual to get help if you need it in the shooting aftermath. If you don't know who to talk to, you can call our office, she said. It's okay to not be okay. In Washington, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre addressed the shooting with reporters. Our hearts go out to everyone impacted by today's senseless violence, particularly those injured and killed, their families as well as the first responders, she said. Jean Pierre continued. In the wake of Newton, Parkland, Buffalo, Uvalde, and countless other shootings in communities across the country, we need additional action to stop the scourge of gun violence. Calling on the U.S. Senate to approve an assault weapons ban and take other common sense actions. CVPA was Southwest High School for decades until 1992. Kazuka, the slain teacher, was the mother of 5 children, including a son who is a Eureka police officer. A gunman came into her classroom, room 323, and Kazuka went in front of him to protect the students, her daughter was told. It wasn't immediately clear why the gunman went to her room or if he targeted a certain teacher. Kazuka graduated from Lindbergh High School in 1979. She attended Southwest Missouri State University, now Missouri State, on a field hockey scholarship, and she was a member of the 1979 national championship team. She earned a bachelor's degree and taught PE at Seven Holy Founders in Afton for 16 years. She later taught physical education at Carlane in the St. Louis Public Schools, then transferred to Central Visual and Performing Arts High School in 2008. The school website says she has taught health, personal finance, and physical education. My mom loved us, her daughter, Abigail Kazuka said. She loved her students. I know I know her students looked at her like she was their mom because a lot of them didn't have a good home life. Kazuka recently began coaching cross country at Collegate, a magnet school within the St. Louis public school system. This was her first year of empty nesting, and she was looking for something extra to do. Abby Kazuka said she was definitely looking forward to retirement though. She was close. Abby Kazuka said her mother mentioned security at the high school last semester, telling relatives that a student from another school brought a gun into the building. She mentioned that, but other than that, she didn't really think anything about safety concerns, her daughter said. I mean, I think people think it will never happen to them. Oh, that's tough. Guys, what do you think? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? I mean, such a tragedy. And for children to still have to go to school. I mean, um this is just heartbreaking. Condolences to the family members of the teacher and the young lady that was unalived. Condolences to those that were even injured. And everybody that was traumatically affected by this. I really feel like, yeah, security needs to be stepped up. I mean, when you see, okay, the Brooklyn, up in New York, I mean, those were older people. That gunman went in there and took all those older people out, our older generation. And one of those people were an activist, and she was an activist against those guns. All right. So our next topic is going to be, whew, okay. This one is kind of heavy, guys. I want you guys to really get into this one, okay? This one is involving sports. Okay. So, female high school volleyball athlete suffers serious head injury after transgender player spikes abnormally fast ball. A North Carolina high school volleyball athlete has suffered a severe injury after a transgender player spiked a ball at her head at an abnormally fast speed. Newly released video footage shows. The male opponent hit the volleyball at approximately 70 miles per hour. One bystander claimed that it was abnormally fast. The female teammate at Hiwassee Dam High School experienced trauma to the head and neck, reportedly. She is still recovering from long-term concussion symptoms, including problems with her vision. She has not yet been approved to compete again. Hiwassee Dam will forfeit all games against the transgender player's school. A decision made by Creek oh, a decision made by the Cherokee County School Board in a 5-1 vote. The board the board mentioned concerns about safety without addressing the transgender component. The fact that a biological male with a significant physical advantage overpowered a female player. The county will not participate in any volleyball games, varsity or junior varsity, against Highlands due to safety concerns. The minutes from the board's meeting read, Hiwassee Dam athlete director attended the school board meeting and declared that statement needs to be made that it was unfair and unsafe for his team to go up against Highlands School. There is a competitive advantage and a safety concern for certain teams. It's not the same for all teams, the school board's vice chair, Jeff Martin, said. I can tell you that the board wasn't searching out this kind of thing. It was brought to our attention based on safety concerns. The biggest thing for us, especially after seeing the video of the injury, we felt strongly that it was a safety concern. Board members Jeff Tatham said. I think most of the board members also felt like there's a competitive advantage issue. The North Carolina incident comes after the scandal with the University of Pennsylvania transgender swimmer Leah Thomas, who outperformed and outpaced multiple female title holders in the sport at various national events. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings on that? You know, that's heavy. I'm not really sure. They're saying that the transgender is a male. So was it male to female, female to male? I mean, I would want to know, but I would. That's a good discussion. I mean, you didn't throw a ball 70 miles an hour and hit this woman in the head, and now she got a cushion. You know, now she's got a cushion. What is really going on? That's I don't know. That's very different. That's very different. But let's go ahead. We're gonna get right on into our next topic, okay? So our next topic is going to be Candace Owens. Say what? Candace Owens threatened to sue George Floyd's family for causing her distress. Okay. Now get into this. Now, Candace Owens, honey, she very problematic. And here we go, guys. Candace Owens threatened to sue George Floyd's family last week on her podcast. Candace addressed the $250 million lawsuit against Kanye West. She accused Floyd's family of filing the lawsuit for publicity. I'm also sick of frivolous lawsuits. If this is actually considered credible, if you can sue somebody because you're feeling emotionally distressed because of them going out and saying things, well, then I think that I have grounds to sue George Floyd's estate, Owen said. I have grounds to sue George Floyd's family for doing this little PR stunt. It's causing me a ton of distress. I feel angry. I feel upset with the fact that I am fighting for Black America to free from the lies. While these people are fighting to keep them in the dark. Child, what are y'all thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? Yes. Yes. Yes, that's what she said. That's what she said. Yes. But you know what? What I heard was that you can't sue, on the behalf of someone that's unalived, because you can't, talk about the unalived. Okay, so listen here, guys. Kanye West. Kanye West and his record label Good Music are reportedly no longer part of Def Jam. Can we get 30 seconds? We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. Thank you guys for staying with me through that commercial break. Companies are ending their relationships left and right with Kanye West due to his recent anti-Semitic comments. Now his label, GOOD Music Imprint, is the next one on the list. According to New York Times, he and GOOD Music is reportedly no longer a part of the Def Jam recordings. Ye's contract as an artist with the label expired following the release of his 2021 album, Donda. It is unclear if he was expected to continue his partnership with his longtime label. Wow. Y'all, Kanye is very problematic, but I feel like things are just oh my God. Kanye got Candace on his side. Candace got Kanye on her side. Y'all, what did we really get ourselves into? What did we really get ourselves into? I'm thrown off. You said they're suing for defamation. Defamation. Tell her to go away. What do you think about Kanye? What do you think about Kanye and him losing these deals? This is my thing. Kanye is a billionaire. Billionaire. And we've all said it before. Didn't Nick Cannon have to go away, and then apologize, and now he's backing us. It's a lot. It's a lot in that world. Okay, it is definitely a lot in that world, and that world is definitely a lot. Here, guys, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link if you guys want to come on up, sound off, and give your opinion on tonight's topics. Any one of them, sound off on any one of them. We talked about the St. Louis shooting today, the high school shooting. We talked about Kanye West. We talked about Candace Owens. We brought up who else did we bring up? We brought up the female, the transgender, the female high school volleyball athlete suffers from the head injury. So we talked about her. We brought her story up. And then we brought up the young man that was choked by grown man. By a grown man. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about a little. Uh-oh. Okay, so yeah, we talked about a few topics tonight. If you guys want to come up and sound off, I'll stay on for a little bit. Just so you guys can just come up, we can engage and discuss these topics. They were very heavy tonight. And if you're the replay gang, please like, share, and subscribe. And definitely sound off in the comments what you think, how you feel. Do you think that, transgenders need to have their own league? Do you think that, because when you talk about, you know, transgender and, you know, school, that can be a touchy subject because, parents feel, they have that right. I can, I'm going to be there and support. Yeah, I get it. I get everything about it. Is this is a heavy topic, but it needs to be addressed. Like, we don't need anybody else getting socked in the head with a ball. I'm all for sports. I'm all for I have good sportsmanship. I played a lot of sports. I ran track, I played soccer. So, you know, I get it. I get it. It's a different type of strength. Like, if you haven't gone under like hormones for a long period of time, because the hormones break that muscle mass down. You're not going to be as strong as, like, I'm not going to have the strength as that transgender did to throw that ball 70 miles because I've been on my hormones. It breaks your muscles down. Like, you don't have all that muscle mass. And that matters. That definitely matters. That's just like pitting up a man against a woman and saying, all right, y'all go at it and let's see who wins. Well, who do you think's gonna win? You know? So those are my thoughts on that. Like I said, prayers to the individuals that lost their life. And let's talk to our kids, let's love on our kids, and let's tell our kids that we appreciate them. And if there's anything that, do you are you okay, seeing if they're okay, but are your friends around you, are they okay, honey? Like, do they appear to be okay? Do you feel like something's going on at home? Or I'm just thinking of ways that we can all just showing up for one another, and always be aware of your surroundings. It's just interesting how these schools are keep getting violated. As a mother, you know, a parent with a student that leaves my door in the morning, I hug them and kiss them off. And, you know, we're expecting to see our children home. Those parents this morning, their child that was affected, they expected to see their baby when they got off. And that didn't happen today. Mental health is real, people. Mental health is real. It is nothing to be played with. It is nothing to be toyed with. And it's nothing to be made fun of. In that article, he said he was tired of everybody in that damn school. So, wow. Be careful how you treat people. You just never know what somebody else is going through. All right, guys. Well, that concludes the show. I definitely want to thank you all so much for coming out to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. This was a great engagement. If you're the replay gang, definitely drop a comment if you didn't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And on that note, I'm your host, Queen Tulsa, and this is the Queen Tulsa Show, and we're out.